Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from WCS America Challenger League. About to enter potentially the last game of the night and the last match of our evening. I'm Axeltoss, joined by Axslav, currently in top versus state top, taking game one pretty convincingly.
Yeah, I mean, it was the situation. He might have had a perfect game. I don't know if he lost the unit there.
I think you're right.
Maybe he lost one probe. He didn't use a scouting probe, but he might have lost the probe that went with the attack to build the pylons. Anyways, just an absolute destruction of a game. It all came down to State missing the force field.
Yeah.
That's what happens in PvP sometimes. But it's a loss where, as a protest, you're like, well, that was silly. Like, I just didn't hit force field when I should hit force field. Whatever, right? It happens. State's got to kind of refocus and say, you know what? That wasn't really him outplaying me. I mean, it was, but it was just one mistake. You know, it wasn't like dramatic difference in skill. It was just State making one silly mistake. If he can refocus, you know, he definitely has a good shot of coming back here.
We have a little bit of a glitch in the matrix here.
Uh-oh.
As our red Protoss player in the bottom of Belshir Vestige, representing Team Zenith of Origin. Hailing from China, he is top.
This could be a bad sign for him.
Do you know that reference? Glitch in the Matrix?
Yes.
Okay. I have to ask because you don't know Pokemon, you don't know Harry Potter. I had to
Those
ask.
aren't comparable. You cannot
What are you
compare
talking- of course
Pokemon
it's
Harry Potter to the Matrix.
I absolutely can.
Well, you can, but...
His opponent in the top left, your blue Protoss player, needs to win 2 in a row here to advance to WCS America Premier League Season 2. Represented by Gamefront, he is State. See what kind of build he goes for this game. Being very cautious with the probes. We're seeing him scout around his main base a little bit.
He was scared about the proxy gates.
Better be safe. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's a very small mineral cost to check your main for proxy gates. It's much less than scouting across the entire map.
Yep.
Of course, you lose like 1 or 2 trips in minerals, 5, 10, maybe at most 15 minerals, and right back onto mining. Both players getting the gases after the gateway. And this is, you know, near the end of Wings of Liberty, this was starting to become popular as a way to open in PvP with 2 gas before Psycor. And now it's like the way to open PvP in Heart of Storm. It's like you just need to get that gas going as fast as possible. There's so many, you know, the Mothership Core is on 100 gas you want to spend, so there's so many of these expenses you have. What's interesting is Top went Psycor before Pylon, which means he's going to be supply blocked for a second or two. You know, delaying that probe time, and he also had to cut a little bit of the probe production to get the pylon earlier, so he's cutting his economy ever so slightly. He's going to be down by basically 1 probe. But he does have slightly faster Psycor than his opponent by maybe a 5-10 second difference. Oh, and look at that, a super fast Stargate.
It's really fast.
And he's chrono boosting out the Stalker. He's hoping the Stalker gets out in time to stop the scout, and if it can, that's big. But if State can scout
if he can see it, now it might depend if he goes to the bottom first or the top of the.
Yeah, he might just run away as soon as he sees the Stalker. Oh,
All right, let's see the probe's vision here. Can he see this Stargate? Oh, he's gonna see it.
Yeah.
Oh, he sees it. Wow.
And I mean, this isn't something you cancel. You've already gone down the path, and it's not like, oh, he loses because State saw it.
No.
It's just, it's not even like he's behind. It's just he loses an opportunity to potentially catch him off guard, which is always nice. And I think he might have been thinking about going to Oracle, but once it's scouted, you don't go Oracle.
Yeah. The chances of it doing.
Yeah, and if you go Oracle in a situation where it's scouted, you're basically going to give up any game where they went Stargate as well. So you both go Stargate, they know you went Stargate, they're going to go Phoenix. And if you go Oracle and they go Phoenix, you're just in trouble. It's going to be way behind.
Oracle's not going to do anything. Sorry. Yeah. And then you're behind in Phoenix production.
Not a
and then it snowballs from there.
Exactly. So I really like when he's getting 1 Phoenix. He's immediately scouting because he wants to know what he's up against. Does he have to get detection? Does he have to get immortals? Should he just focus on Phoenix production if it's an air mirror?
Oh, Phoenix
got lazy.
He's out of energy. Well, there he goes.
He needed a couple shots to really kick him into gear.
So
but this Stalker State could be picked, could have been lifted and donated. But looks like Top's not going to seize that moment. He did. I think. Did he see the Twilight Council?
I think he did.
I mean, he sees enough Stalkers. He's got to figure. I mean, he sees a bunch of Stalkers, no expansion.
Yeah, I saw it. There it is.
So he knows he's up against Blink.
So now how much does State invest into this? Because, okay, placing on Nexus, I kind of like that. Because his opponent scouted the Twilight, right? And it's a situation where his opponent scouted his Stargate, so that's why he went Twilight. So you're thinking, okay, he's responding to my Phoenixes by going for some sort of Blink Stalker all in. And State's going to try to take advantage of that a little bit. His opponent's making a Void, right? And now Top is forced with a decision. Does he go for one base, or does he take a Nexus, but the Nexus will be a little bit later than his opponent?
It is. This is a situation where the air player can be in a little bit of a bind, because if you try to kill your opponent, Blink Stalkers are very difficult to attack. Oh! Whoa! A little bit of sloppy control there, taking a lot of damage on the Phoenix.
Again, he's at the bottom of the map.
Yeah, it's you know what? I think you're right. It's not being at the bottom of the map is not doing good for Top. But I mean, you can't do a one base attack against it. They're just going to photon overcharge you and warp in sentries. So you expand, and Top's going to be a little bit behind in expansion timing, but he has full vision. He has better tech because he has the Robo and a Stargate, whereas the opponent doesn't have either one of those. He just has one.
I wonder if a timing exists here by State off of these two bases before the Nexus finishes.
There are some attacks. No,
at this point, it might be a little bit too late.
Yeah, with just Blink Stalkers, it's usually not going to happen because they can Chrono Boost out. Like all it takes is like one Immortal and 2 Void Rays and a damage output for
a few sentries.
The damage output's so high there, and if you move across the map and they counterattack with a Warcore or something, it can get ugly. Unless you know they don't have too much air units.
Oh.
You want to put some pressure on, but he's definitely if you're gonna do an attack, it's gonna be Charged Archon. It'll be a 2 base time attack you're gonna hit. And he's actually going straight to DT, so he could see that.
Where there's a Phoenix kind of roaming around the base here.
Oh,
and it's gonna spot. Oh my gosh!
It did not spot the Dark Shrine.
Whoa.
But there's a Blink Stalker poking at the these aren't gonna do too much. They're gonna be annoying. They're gonna scout. Maybe they can pick off one Zealot or something. But they're not gonna be able to take on the army at Top right now. It's gotta be careful, yeah.
If he doesn't scout this Dark Shrine, you know, is there a pylon on the top side of the map for State?
State's sending a probe out right now, but it's a little bit late. He's not going to be up in
he
time.
wants to make those DTs right when that Dark Shrine.
He's going to have to make them on the far right side of the map.
Oh.
No. Oh. And he's thinking there might be a Blink attack, so he's focusing on exclusively Immortal production.
Oh, great Blink. Takes down the Phoenix. Okay, pylon, is it, I think it's, okay, that's going to be the closest pylon.
He might just warp around the right side.
You see a DT being warped. It's being warped in somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny? It's super big risk, but if State were like 4 DTs at once and send him straight for the Robo, and Top didn't see the Glimmer, didn't force field the ramp, he would lose the Robo before Observer came out and that'd be game over.
Well, Oracle.
But then they just kill the Stargate probably next.
Oh, sure.
He doesn't have one.
Oh, Stalker still being annoying again, trying to still feint. Now, it's a situation where, we see the blur.
Oh.
We see the blur. Oh, no force field on the ramp.
Oh, he doesn't see it.
He doesn't see it. He's still, again, terrified about this Blink play. And for good reason, but the DT going into the main base, starting to swipe away his probes, and now he knows, is there an Observer on the map? No. Observer's now being Chrono Boosted out of that Robo, but this DT going to town, now attacking the Nexus, that's never going to go down.
No, but he got 6 probe kills, which is pretty nice there. And he's going to hide in the corner. And what he can do, he can send another DT to natural now. Would be really smart because he knows the
Observer's going to be searching in the main.
Yeah, and if he can, he's actually going to try to sneak out of the base. That might not work. Maybe it can. Oh, I think Top's seen it.
DT.
He's hunted down like a wild
Wishing
animal.
he could just jump off that cliff.
But he sent his whole army to kill it, which means his natural is vulnerable.
Oh, Stalker's taking down some probes. Photon Overcharge immediately deployed. State playing this pretty darn well so far.
If DTT can hide in the back, the natural can sneak in later if Top didn't see the blur.
That's a great point. He's going straight into charge lots, adding a billion gateways. He wants to end this on 2 bases.
I mean, if your opponent's going Void Rays and Immortals, those are both pretty weak against Zealots. Oh, well, obviously, Veloth can hit Void Rays, but Void Rays don't kill them very quickly.
DT going to the natural.
Oh, no. More damage.
Well, go to the main. Observer pops
out.
out.
Observer's going to see it. Very fortunate timing there for Top.
Well, he's still going to get some probe kills, which is great.
It is.
Oh, wow. The Observer actually leaving. So he didn't even notice that.
Oh, and there's DT to natural, too. Critical damage to be done here. Top's pretty much all in.
He's committed, man. 50
but he's
to
committed
19.
an attack where he's an Immortal-based army versus mass charge outs and Archons going to be being warped in here.
States might win this right here.
He's hitting the ideal timing right before 1-1 charge finish, but it's still just, I mean, this isn't a winnable battle.
Stalker's blinking back behind these units. Force field's not yet being deployed.
The positioning is very good for Top, actually. Amazing positioning here.
He needs more Zealots. State needs to warping units at this point. Top is going to try to micro away, but I think State is in too good of a position right now. He's up 98 to 59 in supply. Great DT play, just a brilliant game throughout here from State, and he's on the verge of evening up the series.
I mean, every half a minute that goes by, so many more zealots are warped in.
Yeah, and there's a counterattack. So he has to worry about warping in units back home, and his economy, he only has 50 minerals. And this is getting close to the end here. Top again, he must kill his opponent, and he realizes that. He has to engage, he's going to go for it, but it's not going to be near enough. All the Zealot's going to charge for it, the Stalker's blinking for it as well, targeting down the Voiders. The Immortal's doing a little bit of damage, but State's going to be able to clean up top, and this should send us to an ace match. There's the GG. State takes the victory, and we are now tied 1-1 in this ace match. You know, just such a brilliant game played there from State. From scouting the Stargate, making all the appropriate reactions, just feeding off each decision, and every decision just helping the original decision, right?
Yeah, a really heads-up play by State there. The DTs did a lot of damage,
Yeah.
and that was, you know, Top was playing a unit composition that's purely defensive. Immortal Void Ray is not a composition you really want to attack your opponent with, because in the open, as Zealot warp-ins come in, it gets very problematic. It's a great defensive combination, and you can build into it, add in Colossi, and you get Colossi Void Ray, which is, you know, sick in PvP. But when a DT killed so many probes, he was like, well, I guess I got to go for it. And
it was really cool. It was a situation where he was terrified about the Blink Stalker, a potential 2-base Blink Stalker play when he opened up Stargate. And he was never able to scout the Dark Shrine. In a situation where, let's say he had on 2 or 3 Phoenixes, a little bit more comfortable navigating to his opponent's main scouting, he's usually able to scout that. But really cool play there from State, identifying his opponent, wasn't continuing with the Phoenix production, just playing everything right there. Can he continue his success? Currently tied 1-1 here in the ace match. Final game of the night coming up. Either State or Top will advance to Premier League Season 2. Only one can move on. Game 3 coming up.